Hey Raiders, Mr. Engel here. I want to go over a couple of things, a couple of events that are coming up. Obviously starting with tonight, our football game against Arlington Heights at Farrington Field. We hope you come out and support our football team. Then again, our senior night for our girls volleyball is next Tuesday here. Hope you can come out and support our student athletes as our seasons in football and volleyball come to an end over the next couple weeks. So super proud of all the athletes and all your hard work. Wishing you nothing but the best in the upcoming games. I want to talk a little bit about next Thursday, our Southwest Pyramid Night from 6 to 8 o'clock. We're going to have all kinds of things happening from elementary schools to middle schools to high schools. It's going to be a big event, trunk or treat, really something we want to show off for the neighborhood. We hope that you can come and bring your family and participate in that event. We look forward to showing off our school and all the wonderful things that are happening here at Southwest High School. I want to take a couple of minutes and just talk about the why of school with both students and parents. When I was in school a long time ago, we didn't have access to cell phones or Google or everything. So it was really about we had to go through a process of learning to get the answer. School is really about that process. So many of us have it like, well, we just want to Google and get the answer. But that's not really what we want here at the high school. And that's not really what you're going to need to be able to do in your job. Critical thinking is so important. So I want you to understand the reason we focus so much on the process instead of the answer is that's where you're doing your learning. That's where you're doing your critical thinking and you're changing and growing that big muscle in your head, your brain. And one of the things that's kind of changed is we want to have our answer so fast that we just want to Google it, but we don't want to learn the process for getting there. I promise you, the process is more important. We talk about what are you going to do with all the things you learn here in school. The thing I want you to learn most of all is the process of critical thinking. No matter what you learn, being able to take that, move, critically think, and solve a problem. But you're never going to be able to do that if all you do is look for the answer. So please understand, and parents help us with this, it is about the process of learning. Learning doesn't mean you know the answer the first time, every time. A lot of times in learning something new, you're going to fail at it multiple times. You're going to struggle through it. That's the process of building your muscle in your head, your brain. So just understand when we focus on the process and we're really asking you to put your phones away and we don't want you to just go find the answer, it's about we want to know what you think. We want to know what your brain is thinking. We want you to explore that critical thinking. Kind of brings me to my point about phones. We really don't want to see phones in the classroom. And parents, you can help us with this. Please don't text or call your student during the day unless it's an emergency. It is very distracting for students to receive a phone call or text from the parents. We have a lot of students who want to immediately call you back. And we get that if there's an emergency, but we also still have a working phone here at the school, 817-814-8000. You can definitely call us at any time, and we'll go and get your student out of class and allow them to use a school phone if it's an emergency. But just know that phones are a major distractor, and they're also they're preventing students from going through that learning process. So if our kids have their phone out, they're just typing in they're just utilizing it to find the answer rather than going through the learning process. So, if I'm in a meeting, a soft skill that all of you can help us with, parents, is, we have to be off our phones at our job. I need us to make sure that we're helping students understand the why we need them off their phones at school. We do, that's a school-wide policy and something that I really want you to help us with. And students, I want you to understand the why we're asking you to put your phones away. So please, everyone, let's do our part in making sure our phones are not a distractor to what we're trying to do here at school. The other thing I want to talk about is being on time. Some of us are like, Mr. Engel, I'm only 5 minutes late. Well, if you're 5 minutes late every day, that's 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes times 5, That's 100 minutes in a week. Times that by how many weeks of school we are, you're missing almost up to a week of school by the end of the school year. So 5 minutes adds up. And when you get to the real world, you may forget what you've learned in, I was a math teacher, so we'll use a math example. You may forget what you learned in Calc BC or Algebra 2. But what you're not going to forget is those soft skills you learn in school. Being on time, being respectful, making sure that you put your phone away when asked the first time. Those are all going to be things that translate to your job. Because when you get to your job, you're going to have to be respectful. You're going to have to be on time. You're going to have to make sure that your task, whatever it is focused on that task, not you being on your phone. So again, school is a lot about content, but it's also a lot about those life skills that you're going to need to be successful in any industry, in college, or any career. So please help us make sure that you understand what you need to do to be successful. Moving forward, not just here at school, but taking those skills and moving forward in life. So again, we have lots of great things coming up. Please make sure that you're doing your part to be a part of the learning process. And remember, the learning process is critical. That's what school's about, that critical thinking, that engaging in the learning, not the answer. The answers will come, but that process of learning, that process of your own thinking, that authentic creativity that creates who you are, the individual thinking that you'll need in any career is so important. So I challenge each of you to really put our focus there, not just putting it in, typing it in, and trying to find the answer. Because you're doing yourself an injustice with the learning process. Till next time, continue to do great. We appreciate all that you do. Go Raiders.